I'm here today on behalf of the Humane League UK to find out if your supermarket is selling you Franken chickens. I'm visiting the UK's biggest supermarkets looking for evidence of meat from unnaturally fast-growing chickens. Chickens raised for meat are generally bred to grow quickly, but when they grow so unnaturally big so fast, we call this a Franken chicken. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to find. I'm hoping that I don't really find much at all, and at the same time thinking that it's probably likely that I will. I'm just going to see what I can find on these shelves. Unfortunately, the very first product I've looked at in this store is immediately signs of something called white striping. There's thin white lines running through the meat. This I've learned happens when the muscle growth of the chicken basically exceeds the rate of its own blood supply. So the oxygen and nutrients it needs to keep building those newly forming muscle fibers don't reach it in enough quantity. Muscle starts degrading, starts to get replaced with very thin lines of fat. This is a sign of a not very healthy chicken. So all of these are chicken thigh fillets, and every single one I've looked at in Asda has some form of white striping on it. So these chickens are not growing properly, they're growing too quickly for their own bodies. It's horrible. So there's some heartburn there on this leg, some heartburn on the other side on this leg. These heartburns are caused because the chicken can't stand up properly and they're forced to sit or lie on the ground. It's crazy to see that you can look at one pack and you're seeing it on multiple different legs. It's horrible to look at, really. Okay. Yeah, there's loads of examples. So what we've got here, if you look closely here, you can see two black marks. Heartburns occur when the chicken's ammonia burns through its skin. So the ammonia comes from their waste. So this is a sign that this chicken's been unable probably to stand very much. It's probably been sat down, lying down for a lot of its life. And as a result, has probably suffered from some quite excruciating pain for much of its life. Can you imagine having a burn that you can't escape from, that no one is treating, that is being made worse on a daily basis? Each one, if you look closely, has the same signs. So this chicken has been in pain during its life. So it's on all of them. All the ones we're looking at have some form of heartburn. I don't think I realised the prevalence of the suffering when you know what you're looking for. It takes you back a bit, I think. So we can see there's a heartburn on that one. Yep, there's a heartburn on that one. There's a heartburn on that one. And there's huge heartburns on that one. So that's 4 out of 5 random chickens that I'm looking at. 4 out of 5 chickens here have had to suffer with burns throughout their lives. Just think what they've had to go through here. Most chickens raised for meat are slaughtered at around 40 days old. That's just 6 weeks to grow from an egg into a full-size chicken that we see on the shelves. So this is a sign of suffering right on our shelves in front of everyone. People might be looking directly at suffering, not actually even know what they're looking at. And as a result of that, we don't necessarily realise how commonplace it is. So once again, I found very quickly evidence of suffering. Both these chicken products, there's quite a few, have evidence of white striping. You can easily see the white striping through the chicken meat. So this chicken is likely to have suffered in quite a few different ways. The sad thing about all this is no one actually knows what they're looking at when they're picking up these chicken products. And the evidence of suffering is, as we can see, right in front of us all. Yeah, I've already found evidence of suffering again. So this chicken breast has white lines all the way through it. So this chicken has been growing too quickly for its own genes. It's just a shame to see something like this. This chicken's had to go from the size of an egg. A full-grown chicken this size in the space of about 40 days. That's not a natural rate of growth. Look, they don't get to go outside, they're in the same barn all the time. They don't even know outside exists. This is what you're looking at when you buy this chicken. I think one of the things that makes me sad is people just see this as a product. There's a disconnection between this being a living being, something that wanted to be happy, wanted to have a good standard of living, didn't want to suffer, wanted to grow in a normal, natural way. and trying to take stock of the fact that this was a living animal, knowing that this isn't just a product. It's really sad. I've found evidence today in the majority of supermarkets that I visited that they are selling meat from unnaturally fast-growing Franken chickens. In fact, we found evidence all over the country of Franken chickens being sold. Over 90% of chickens raised for meat in the UK comes from these fast-growing breeds. Now, it's not enough that supermarkets are providing better living conditions, because the suffering itself is inside the animal's genes. Everyone can see this. This isn't some narrative. This is on our shelves. It's not being hidden. If you know what you're looking for, it's there to see. So please share this video and help share the truth about what supermarkets are selling.